What if I told you that the key to getting rich doesn't mean sacrificing your favorite things or living on a tight budget?
Imagine living the lifestyle you want without worrying about your money. Sounds impossible, right? Well, stay tuned to find out how.
We've all heard the same old advice: cut out the coffee, stop spending on fun things, and save every penny.
But what if the real way to wealth isn't about sacrifice, but smart spending? Today, we're showing you a new approach, one that can actually work.
We're not going to tell you to stop living your life.
In fact, we're going to show you how to automate your money so you can focus on what really matters to you, while setting yourself up for long-term financial success. Stick around. You'll want to hear this.
Forget everything you've heard about depriving yourself.
We're diving into Ramit Sethi's I Will Teach You to Be Rich, where the strategy is all about working smarter, not harder, setting up a system that takes the stress out of managing your finances. Sethi's approach is all about focusing on the big wins, the smart moves that will actually set you up for long-term wealth.
Yeah, and that's a big shift. He's not here to tell you to stop buying things you love. He wants you to spend on the things that matter to you while cutting out the rest.
Sethi's big thing is about automation. Imagine setting up a system where your money flows into savings and investments automatically, and you don't have to think about it.
You can still enjoy your latte, just don't stress over it.
That's right. And it's not just about automating your savings either. It's about making your money work for you without constantly having to babysit it. Instead of obsessing over every transaction, you set it and forget it. It's more about creating a system that supports your goals rather than living paycheck to paycheck, always fighting with your finances.
So the message here is, stop feeling guilty about enjoying life and focus on the big moves.
Yes, those smart decisions that actually move the needle in your financial journey. No more, I'll start budgeting tomorrow, or I can't afford to have fun.
This is about designing a rich life, not just scraping by.
And if there's one key idea that you should take away from this, our first vault key, start with automation. Once you set up a system for your money to flow automatically into the right places, you're freed up to live your life without that constant money stress. This isn't about being perfect. It's about getting things right enough so that the system takes care of itself.
That's a solid vault key to start with. And just to make it clear, listeners, you don't have to be perfect with every financial decision. The key is making sure you've got the right systems in place so you can focus on what really matters to you. Let's dive into how this actually works.
But before that, if you're enjoying this episode so far, go ahead and hit subscribe so you don't miss what we dig into next.
Okay, back to our topic now. So if we're not cutting back on everything we enjoy, what does Ramit Sethi suggest instead?
It's all about conscious spending. This is where he really flips the script. Instead of tracking every single expense, he says you should focus on spending extravagantly on the things you love and cut ruthlessly on the things you don't care about.
You mean Sethi isn't against spending?
That's exactly right. He's against spending without purpose. A lot of people feel like they're doing the right thing by slashing every little expense, but that's usually not sustainable. The key, according to Sethi, is figuring out what you truly care about and what you don't. The goal is to maximize enjoyment from the things you love while minimizing spending on the things that don't matter.
So, let's say I love dining out, but I don't care about spending on, clothes or tech gadgets. According to Sethi, I could keep enjoying great meals without guilt, as long as I'm cutting back on the things I don't really care about.
Yes, it's all about prioritizing. Sethi calls it the 4 buckets: fixed costs, savings, investments, and guilt-free spending. What goes in your guilt-free spending bucket should be the things that bring you the most joy. If dining out is what makes you happy, then go for it. But if you find yourself buying gadgets or clothes you don't really need, that's where you can cut back.
So it's not about living like a monk and giving up everything that's fun. It's about being more intentional with your money. And that's where I think people get stuck. They think budgeting means giving up all the fun. But it's really about being strategic with how you allocate your funds, right?
Exactly. The issue with traditional budgeting is that it's restrictive. It feels like you're always saying no to things, and it can make you feel resentful. Sethi's approach to conscious spending is the opposite. It's about aligning your spending with your values and passions. You're not cutting out everything you love. You're just being more thoughtful about where you put your money.
So what if someone's looking at their finances and thinking, I've got a ton of debt, I barely make enough to cover the basics. How can I possibly afford to spend on things I love? That's gotta be a tough spot.
That's a great question. And Sethi's answer, you need to start by tackling the high-interest debt first. If you've got credit card debt or loans with high interest, those are holding you back. Once you get that under control, you'll free up cash flow, and then you can start enjoying guilt-free spending in the areas that matter to you.
Got it. Tackle the debt first, and then once you've got that breathing room, it's time to reallocate your money to the things you really value. I think that's such a game changer. It's not about cutting everything out. It's about making sure your spending reflects your true priorities.
Exactly. And here's another vault key for today. Identify your top 3 love-to-spend categories and focus on them. Once you've figured out what truly brings you joy, whether it's travel, dining, or something else, pour your money into that and cut back on the things that don't add value to your life. It's all about being intentional with your spending, not limiting yourself.
And that's the key to a sustainable financial plan, one that actually works for you, not against you. So, listeners, take some time to think about your own love-to-spend categories. What are the things that genuinely make you happy, and what can you trim back on? That's where the real shift happens.
Exactly. And remember, this isn't about doing it perfectly. The goal is to get started, make the small changes, and gradually build a financial life that reflects your true priorities.
Okay, so we're getting good at spending on what we love and cutting the fluff. But here's where things get interesting. Ramit Sethi's approach really shines when he talks about automating your finances. If you set it up right, your money can pretty much work for you without you lifting a finger. Sounds pretty great, right?
It really does. Sethi's entire philosophy is built around automation. The idea is that once you set up the right systems, your money flows automatically to where it needs to go, whether it's paying bills, saving, or investing. And this isn't just about saving time. It's about creating a financial system that doesn't rely on you constantly thinking about it or making decisions.
Right, so we're not talking about creating some complex spreadsheet or micromanaging every transaction. Sethi's idea is to set it up so your bills are paid, savings are taken care of, and investments are automatically fueled, all without you needing to worry about it every month.
Exactly, and the beauty of automation is that it eliminates the need for willpower. Think about it. How many times have we told ourselves we'd save more only to find that we've spent the money by the end of the month? Automation takes that temptation away. Once your savings and bills are automated, it just happens. You don't have to remember to do it, and you can focus on the other parts of life.
That's where it gets interesting, because let's be real, a lot of people feel like they're not making enough to automate anything. They might think, I can't even afford to save right now, let alone automate it. So, how does automation work when you're just getting started, especially if you're on a tight budget?
Great question. Sethi suggests starting small. You don't need to have a big chunk of money to begin. Even $50 a month can be automated. The key is to start with small, manageable steps. Set up an automatic transfer to a savings account, or if you have debt, automate a small payment toward it every month. As soon as you get in the habit of it, you'll start building momentum.
So it's really about building the habit first, not stressing about having a huge amount of money to work with. The whole point of this is that once it's automated, you're free to do what you need to do without worrying about finances constantly hanging over your head.
Exactly. And once those small wins are rolling in, you can increase the amounts or add more accounts as needed. But automation isn't just about savings, it's about setting up your whole financial system so you don't have to think about it. It makes everything seamless and effortless, which is why Sethi loves it so much.
And here's the thing I love. It's not just about being lazy with your money, it's about being smart. You're letting your money grow for you without you having to actively manage it all the time.
That's the secret. It's lazy but smart, and it works because we all know we're not going to do the things we know we should do unless it's easy. By setting everything up automatically, you're removing the barriers that usually stop us, whether it's forgetting or procrastinating.
It sounds almost too simple to be effective, but that's the point, right? It's simple but powerful. Once you automate, you free up your time and energy for bigger things, like enjoying life, knowing that your financial system is running smoothly behind the scenes.
That's exactly it. And here's the vault key for this segment. Automate everything you can. Set up automatic transfers to savings, bill payments, and investments. This way, you're not constantly making decisions or worrying about your money. You set it and forget it. And that consistency is what will really make your wealth grow over time.
I love that. Set it and forget it. So, listeners, if you haven't already, take a few minutes to set up one automatic transfer this week. Whether it's for savings, investments, or just getting those bills off your plate, start small and let the system take care of the rest.
And remember, it's all about building that momentum. Start with small steps, And before you know it, you'll have a financial system that runs itself. Trust the process and automate.
All right, so let's quickly recap everything we've covered today. We've tackled some pretty big ideas, and it's time to lock them down with our vault keys, those actionable insights that will change the way you think about money.
First up, the vault key. Start with automation. Sethi's big takeaway is that once you set up automatic systems for your savings, bills, and investments, your money works for you without you having to think about it. You'll be free to focus on what really matters without stressing over every detail. Remember, consistency is key, and automation makes it effortless.
And then we talked about how to spend with intention. The vault key here is identify your top 3 love to spend categories. Focus your money on the things that genuinely bring you joy. For everything else, cut it out. This isn't about denying yourself, it's about spending your money where it counts most to you.
Next up, cut the fluff. This is Sethi's philosophy on cutting back on low-value expenses. It's not about depriving yourself of what you love, but it's about being mindful of where your money is going. If something doesn't bring you joy or add value, don't spend on it.
And don't forget, start small. Even $20 a month can get you moving in the right direction. It's about building momentum, and those small steps, when automated, can really add up over time.
Absolutely. And finally, crush debt. If you're holding on to high-interest debt, make that your first priority. Paying down that debt frees up your cash flow and gets you in a better position to start investing and enjoying life.
So there you have it. The keys to a richer life. Automate, focus on what you love, cut the fluff, start small, and tackle your debt first. It's a simple approach that doesn't require perfection, just intention and action.
Exactly. And remember, it's not about doing everything perfectly. It's about taking one step at a time and letting your money work for you. So, listeners, pick one vault key from today's episode and implement it this week. Whether it's setting up an auto transfer or cutting back on one unnecessary expense.
That's the key to getting started. Just take that first step. Make it a habit, and you'll be on your way to living a richer, more intentional life. So, stop waiting for the perfect moment and start making the time work for you.
Exactly. And with that, we'll wrap up today's episode of Tap the Vault. Thanks for tuning in. If you found this useful, hit the like button, drop a comment, and share this episode with a friend who could benefit. See you next time.